Hello, today is Tuesday, May the 14th after work. I filmed the first part on my lunch break today, all the way up to the secret garden, and I'm getting ready to film the rest, so I needed to stop and do this intro. And you guys, I'm going to apologize in advance that I'm not as upbeat as I normally am with this tour because I'm a little saddened right now. If you're here in North Texas, you know we have been getting a lot of rain, so much so that the National Weather Service Fort Worth put out a report that this is the 6th wettest season on record. We haven't had this much rain since 2002. We've had over 20 inches of rain, and my garden is not flourishing with this rain. It is struggling a bit. My rose garden that I recently expanded with those rows, it had to be dismantled. The roses are now up front, and it's still iffy if they're all going to make it. One did perish, and I had to replace it. We'll just see about the rest. They were flooded not once, but twice before I could get them moved out of there. And then after I got them moved out, it flooded in that area again. So it's just one of those things, and I'm very sad right now. My garden is kind of struggling, but we're going to just pick ourselves up and make it through. But I hope you enjoy this little update and tour. It's going to start on the front porch, you guys. I was talking about possibly painting that concrete landing on the front porch, but I found a rug that reminded me of our time in France, so I put that down. So the tour is going to start there because I wanted to share that with you. So thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, so I'm going to start with the front porch here, only because I was talking about painting this up here possibly, but I decided to add this rug instead, and I think it looks lovely. This is a 5x8 rug, and it just fit perfectly up here. And I was just bragging about how long I'd had these topiaries in the last little tour I did, and one of them broke when we were moving things off the porch to put the rug on here. So that's okay. And I have wasps trying to make nests everywhere already. They're just busy up here. I have to get my caladiums planted in here. I'm going to do that this weekend. The ferns were moved, but they will eventually be sitting right here. And I still need to cut them back just a bit, get the new growth going on them. Okay, so there we go. Here's the front porch, and I kind of like my Easter bunny door hanger, so I'm leaving it there for now. Plus I haven't found anything I want to put there yet, but let me go ahead and do the big reveal this way of the roses that were in the rows. They have been relocated up here. Ta-da! They're all right there. And the reason I had to do so was I had to keep in mind they need full sun and irrigation. So this was the only other place they could go for now. I'm not real pleased. Let me kind of square up here so we can see this better. Yes, so on May 5th, my daughter and I, we came out and dug up all the roses that were in the rows out there at the gazebo, and I'll show you that in a minute, what that looks like back there. What a mess. And yeah, we moved them up here. I'm not sure how I feel about these pots of roses. These roses were going to come out of these pots and finish out those rows. Still a little disappointed if you can't hear it in my voice, but let's just boogie around. Say hi to everyone, Allie Betty. I see. You want me to throw your ball? Okay. All right, you ready? You ready? Okay, so let's just boogie around up here up front, and then we'll just go around. I'll try to throw the containers in here as well. So, because I wanted to include this more on these tours, kind of going from the side of the house up front here. But as you can see, some of the daylilies are blooming. Not all of them, which is strange, but this is the best they've ever looked. But they're starting to throw up some little bud stems here. But these are so pretty. They look so good when they bloom out. Oh yeah, and these were here on property when we bought the property in 2021. And I think they're just lovely, and I've left them here. Very pretty. Okay, moving right along up front. Back up here, this is a ballet slippers hibiscus I planted quart size last year, and nothing has emerged. So I'm just going to say it's not going to, but some of the crepe myrtles that were in here that didn't look good, they're trying to poke their heads up. So I have to keep this bed cleared out. Icona grass still coming back to life over here. And my little hydrangea. This was just a 2.5 quart planted last year. And it's starting to bloom out. It's got buds on it. It's alive. So I'm happy. Just a little small thing still, but that's okay. This is one of my Mexican petunia seedlings that I had in the greenhouse. I started by seed. So we just plopped it right there because we had the extra one. Here's my, that I discussed on the last video, hosta horror. So these are blue mouse ears hostas, and one's been eaten completely back. We'll just see what happens. I've sprayed them with neem oil. This is the 3rd year for most of my hostas, and they should just be glorious this year, and they're not. I'm just so disappointed. So unless I put them in a pot, they won't be going back in the ground if I ever plant any more hostas. So I've just uncovered them. I did, again, like I said, sprayed them with neem oil, and we'll just see if they can recover and bounce back. But I'm not worrying with it. I put some more of my Mexican petunia seedlings in here. Now, they don't get a lot of sun. They are right now because it's mid-afternoon, getting just a bit of sun. But this side of the house, this front of the house, is north facing. So we don't see a lot of sun on this side. Some in the morning, little in the afternoon, and when the sun's going down, it comes through here. But that's why the hydrangeas like it. Look at this hydrangea. Coast to coast hosta. Yeah, so just ignore all the hostas. We're just gonna see what they do. But look at this little 2.5 quart planted last year. Gorgeous, doing so well. Look how beautiful. Budded up and blooming. Budded up and blooming. This one has buds on it, but no blooms. Yeah, my pitiful little coast to coast hostas. That Icona grass hanging in there. And those 2 Royal Standard hostas I got from Gilbert H. Wild last year right here. And these are 2 hostas as well. This one was planted last year, again, is 2.5 quart, and this one was planted in 2022 up front. Managed to rescue it, and it made it up here, and it's thriving. I mean, it's alive, but it's not full or anything. We'll just see if it can make a comeback, and we'll finish this walkway going up to the secret garden in those containers there after we circle back this way. This right here has jasmine in it, and it needs to be cleared out. There's some weeds popping up there, and I need to get the leaves out of it. I haven't even addressed this area yet this year, but I will show you. I have one calla lily up front blooming. But let me just flip back here, and we'll go up to this front middle bed. I do have a new idea for this front, and that's just going to be a slow work in progress as I can get it done. But what I want to do is bring out really deep beds all the way around and just kind of rectangle this in with beds, and then have, you know, grass in between. We'll see how it works out with this, having to move the roses. The roses are not the color scheme I wanted up here, so that's kind of bumming me out. But I mean, the purple and white that are in these pots, the Rise Up Lilac Days and the Crema Roses from Proven Winners, those colors are just fine with me. But in my rose, I had the red rose that my husband really wanted, a red rose, but I thought that would be perfect for a little cutting rose garden in the back, but now they've been moved up front. But here are the red yuccas, and this one was putting up a plume. I think I showed that when I was doing the window boxes in the last video, but as you can see, I mean, so much water, you guys, so much water. It's kind of wild, but these roses are doing okay. Again, I don't know if I like them in this bed like this, but honestly, I don't know if I want to put them in the ground yet, because now with my plant in the back dismantled, I just don't know. I just don't know. Here's the bird bath. I put some of my dwarf Mexican petunias in here. These are the purple ones, or blue, but they're purple, but they're called blue. In here with Creeping Jenny. We'll see if she can make it. She tends to struggle every year because this gets full hot sun, and yeah, she just tries to hide in there the best she can. But Carly Rose is hanging in there okay. You can just see everything is just waterlogged, including the salvia. Look at that. and the ants have been no help. Destroyed this little ant mansion not too long ago. And my daisies, they're doing nothing right now. Nothing. More daisies up there. Little tiny Carly Rose flushing out. But yeah, this is the front bed. And you can see the red yuccas. They are heat and drought tolerant, and they are not liking all this water. They're just not. So we'll see. Just hang in there, you guys. Hang in there. I'm sure drier days are coming. Now, we don't want drought, but it's inevitable here. Good thing I have them. Okay, so here's the new rose up front. And so, like I was saying earlier, if we just make deep beds all the way around this front, hope that's making sense. You know, we just come all the way around. Right here, this is Deep Secret on this end. And then the other side will mimic this one. So we've got Deep Secret here. And we have Honey Dijon here and here. And this Honey Dijon, look, it's barely hanging on. So I don't know, I'm just hoping against hope. I even amended the soil up here with compost before I put them in. We'll see. This is L here hanging in. Just devastating. A little devastating. This is Elle over here, and she was blooming. So she was a happy girl, even back there drowning. Let me pop this off. And I imagine these were just placeholders, so I could see after we measured it out where to start the rows. I don't think they're gonna stay up here because they look kind of odd. I had a whole plan in the back, you guys. I can't keep dwelling on it, but those things were part of that plan, and now they just look weird. This is Honey Dijon here, and one of my Honey Dijons died, so I was able to find a bare root on clearance because it was like the last days they were doing it. So she hasn't been in the ground long, but this is a new Honey Dijon bare root from Menagerie. And the other Deep Secret down here. And as you can see, I don't know, I'm just worried. I hope they can bounce back as soon as, or if, they start leafing out more. I'm gonna give them some fish fertilizer and see. But let's walk around here. Just so you can see the front. This is how it looks right now, but I can imagine like a white picket fence coming around this whole front. Oh, that would be so lovely, I think. But yeah, just regrouping. I thought about that little rose garden for over a year and how that was gonna look and how I wanted to do it. And then, you know, plan is in place, picking out roses, having a good time with my daughter and husband, letting them pick colors because it was overwhelming, and then boom, flooded them out. So we'll just see what happens. Westmont Chinese arborvitaes are doing wonderful. My address sign got messed up, so I have another one coming. We won't go revisit the window boxes. That was the last little video I did. They're doing the same, just waterlogged. We're gonna come up this way. I can show you. I'm doing this quickly, this front here during my hour lunch, and then I'll wrap up the rest after work. But up here I have one calla lily. I've got another one trying to come up right here, but I planted these, you guys, fall. Oh, I can't remember. No, wait, I think spring 2022. But anyway, here's this one. So pretty, just out here all by its lonesome. But it's obviously loved the rain. There's Miss Elbell. We're gonna come over here. Picked up some foxgloves from Gilbert H. Wild. These are the rose-colored ones, and I just popped them here. I tried foxgloves last year behind those daylilies on the side of the house, those orange ones. They didn't do so well, so I picked this spot. We'll see what happens. It'll be pretty if they come up under these little windows here by the garage. All right, so the planters here, I wanted to do a separate container tour, but I'm just gonna kind of just throw this in here with this tour. What I have in these this year on each side of the garage, this is Coleus I overwintered indoors. It's kind of leaning over instead of standing up, but I want it to be the Thriller. And then in the back, I have this Torrinia. I left the tags in here. There we go. And that would be the filler. And then this one here can trail up to 3 feet. So I have it in the front, this Torrenia, as the spiller. So those will be really pretty if they fill out, we'll see. And then same thing for this one over here. Now my coleus over here isn't as big as the other one, but it should catch up. You can see they're trying to just lay over, and I just don't know. I don't know if that was a product of that bad storm we had come through or what, but yeah, same thing. Coleus as the thriller, this Torrenia, the white Torrenia as the filler, and the purple Torrenia as the spiller. So yeah, we'll see how these two guys work out. And there's the side of the shed there with that window box again. Nothing's changed there, just a little waterlogged. Drying out, doing well. But this now brings us to the secret garden. Let me back up. So after work, the sun may be different, but we'll get started in here. Before I get started, you guys, in my March garden tour, I was saying if this tree didn't leaf out, it was gonna have to go. Only half of it leafed out last year. And look at it. Look, it must have heard me. It said, we better do something or we're out of here. So it's not fully leafed out, but it's green. I'm happy. All the branches at least have greenery on it, so it's not gonna have to go. But after work, I'm gonna come out and we will start here in the secret garden of what's going on and what's blooming in here. Again, the light may be different because it will be a few hours later. Okay, it's 5 p.m. after work, and the light has changed a bit. Garage is open now, so I don't want to show you all my shame in there. So we are going to start right here where I left off at the secret garden. We'll just go through and I'll show you what's blooming. I won't go into too much detail like I did in March because it's pretty much the same. Everything's waterlogged, but I did add a few things in here, so I'll show you that. Up here in the front, I direct seeded some dill. I don't know how it's gonna do, but it started to germinate. Hey Ellie, can we get right here? Good girl. You see, it started to germinate right there. We'll just see. I was trying to get rid of my old seeds. I don't know why I hoard seeds. I'm gonna have to start using them when I order them. That's what's going on here. Let me throw her ball. Where are you, monkey? Where's Ellie? There's Ellie. You ready, girl? You ready? Good job, monkey. This daylily is blooming. It was already here. It's so pretty. I have some more daylilies in the back opening up. We'll go over there. But nothing's changed here. Here's my little trio of bunnies. I love bunnies. This is a Rose of Sharon, nice and green. No blooms yet. These were here as well. I don't know if I said in the last video. I think these are some kind of dwarf Nandina, which is fine by me because they don't spread. Thank goodness. I've had my fill of spreading Nandina at the other house. I wanted to address my Jubilation Gardenia back here. Okay, it's a little scant because I cut this thing completely back. I am now the kind of gardener that is not scared to start cutting, and I did cut this gal back, and you can see she's putting on more new growth. So we'll see what happens. I am really thinking this gardenia got bit back in the Arctic temperatures that we had. So I like to see more greenery there. I am not giving up on her yet. On each side here, I do have some coffee cup elephant ears, and they haven't emerged yet, but I think the warmer we get, we will get to see that. Let me flip around here slowly. This bed here is my lily bed. It has daylilies, calla lilies, and Asiatic lilies. And look at them. They're starting to bud up. But we did see some little bunnies early this morning, Ellie and I. We know we have bunnies. And I was reading, I think they like lilies. So let's hope they don't eat these and we get a good bloom show. My calla lily here is starting to show itself. And this pretty little lily that I added last year has buds on it. Very pretty. And I have coreopsis there in the middle. It was blooming and now it's not blooming. So we'll just see what happens with that. Hopefully it'll start blooming again. So there's that little bed. We'll just scooch around this way. Nothing new going on in here from the March tour. Still letting the daffodils die back. All right, now we're gonna scoot over here. We were able to mow some last week, so this trellis, neither one of us have taken the time to get the screwdriver out to undo this broken trellis, but we'll get to it. This is full of daylilies. Have not seen any blooms over here or little bloom stalks yet, so we'll see. These are the daylilies I planted last year, but they are struggling. So they're really pretty and pink, so I hope we start seeing some of those. And then here's my gnome bed, you guys. I do have some of my echinaceas starting to green up here. My Atlas rose is doing well over here, no blooms. And beside it, I do have some butterfly weed that has come back that I planted last year. And then that brings us right here to the greenhouse. And we'll just pop in here. My echinaceas and penstemon are doing well. And I upgraded my tomatoes and my sweet peppers. I do need to add some water to the tray. I'll do that after this tour. But they're doing well. They will probably be ready to go out soon. There's the greenhouse. Update on the seedlings. Now we're going to come over this way on this side of the greenhouse. Look at Steady As She Goes Gardenia. She is really putting on a show. Oh my goodness, and I wish I had smell-o-vision. Look how gorgeous she is. So pretty. She can get fairly big, and where I want to put her, Ellie, you're so cute. Back over this way. Where I want to plant her is where that stump is, right there in front of the pool. So my husband is steadily working on that. Still haven't done anything with that bag of pea pebbles that was left over from doing the greenhouse. But look at birthday girl Rose. Oh, she's doing a fantastic. She's gorgeous. She's a happy rose. Look how beautiful. Gorgeous. So we've got blooms and buds. I'm trying to be careful, not fall over. Here we go. She's beautiful. Look at her. So full. Looks gorgeous. And you might see this rose here. This is Coco Loco. And it's another bare root. I just picked her up when I was reordering the Honey Dijon rose that died out there in the flood. And they had Coco Loco also at a wonderful discount. So I said, let me go ahead and get her. I'm excited. Everybody that I watch that has a Coco Loco, they just say such good things about that rose. So I'm excited to add her. Okay, now we're gonna flip around right here underneath this gumdrop or lollipop tree. Depends on the day on what I call this tree here. I planted some oxalis, and I'll pop up on the screen what it's called, but you can see it's starting to pop up. That's a weed. But I put it all under here, so that'll be lovely if it fills all of that in. And then here are gorgeous daylilies in bloom. Even the ones I divided have been putting up some blooms. So I am tickled. Yeah, we've got beautiful daylilies going right here. And this is my Tough Stuff hydrangea. doing well. Oh, look, I've got some color and it looks like it's going to be purple. Oh, that's so good. Pink or purple, I'm fine with it. It can be either or, depending on your soil. And to be quite honest, I'm not even sure about my soil. I've never tested it. So here we have echinaceas on the struggle, but they're still here hanging in. See these twigs here, I need to come pull them out. These were fizzy mizzy sweet spires, and they haven't done well since I planted them. So I need to come dig that out. This would have been their 3rd year, but not doing well at all. And these are my little carpet azaleas, the Perfecto Mundo. That one has a weed growing up in it. Wonderful. But I did add in between, because my reblooming white Perfecto Mundo died. That was right here. And I put in some Vermillionaire. Proven winners. Oh, I think the hummingbirds are going to love it if it can hang in there. I put another one right here at the front of this bed, the front of the gnome bed here. And then you can see my yarrow. Oh, it's just struggling because of the water struggle. This Sassy Summer Taffy yarrow, it looks a little better, but you can see it's just, everything's just been waterlogged. But I put in 2 dias right here. I ordered these. I didn't do these by seed. One is Cafe au Lait, which I do believe is this one. And then one is Arabian Night, which I think is this one. Gorgeous. I ordered these from Great Garden Plants. But let's come around here. My Dia seedlings. I did plant these guys last week. And here they are. These are all 7 of my Dias. The Bee's Choice Dias that I did by seed from Florette. And they're all right here. We'll see how they do. So far, they're doing pretty well. I was gonna come back over to this side of the greenhouse because I missed it. I'm just throwing in the containers with this tour. But this is the Super Tunia Vista bubblegum. Doing well on this side. You ready, girl? She loves to come out and play. And with all the rain, I'm just happy we can be out here. Yeah, this is what's going on over here. Drying out. The ribbons were so wet yesterday. Yesterday morning, I went to get some pictures so I could share on social media the greenhouse. And so wet. It was another rainy morning. So I wanted to wait to do a tour till I had sunshine, and today is just glorious. You might notice here, my Japanese maple is not there anymore. It's over there. But it was taking a beating in this bad thunderstorm we had. And so my husband came and moved it to shield it. Used that tree to shield it. And it did work out pretty well. But hopefully we can put it back soon. But everything's just hanging in. Again, the hostas. The hostas. This spearmint heuchera doing fantastic. My Fire Island hostas. Look at that one. Terrible. I'll get my shadow out of this. But I did put a container over here. I wanted to show you this. So, yeah, just pitiful. We'll see. We'll see what my hostas can do. This one doesn't look too bad. This is an autumn frost. And my elephant ears I planted last year. I've got one coming up. But I did this little planter with those strawberry planters I spray painted. And I put that purple Terrace in this one. Look how gorgeous. So pretty. Just so it can like drape over. And then I added some Creepin' Jenny in some of the little holes here. Let me back up. So hopefully that'll just be a cute little thing. I have not put anything in that pot. It did have some ivy in it, but I have the worst time with this little bird cage because I forget to water that pot. And my pot last year, it just struggled. So I don't know if I'll put anything in there this year. Maybe you can find a little garden statue or something to put in there. I don't know. But yeah, here is my Japanese maple. My bench normally goes here, but since we moved this over here, I have not gotten my bench out yet. And I love that little bench because it folds up, so it stores really easily. Let me just pan back this way so we can see the garden from this way. And in here, I also planted that same oxalis that's under that gumdrop lollipop tree over there. And it's starting to come up. I did get my sheep out. Here they are, Arlequin sheep. And if you're wondering why this is like this, there was a dead tree right here in the middle, and you can see it just left a gaping hole after they removed that tree. So I decided, when I saw these sheep, I was like, I have to have those in my garden. And my husband was like, you can go ahead and get them. And they've just made the best little centerpiece right here. But I do think a fountain would be lovely right here. So garden's constantly changing, right? But they're just here on their faux rug and with Ellie. He's so cute. But you can see I planted that oxalis all around the sheep this year, and they're starting to come up. So I hope they do well. And I put more of the purple shamrocks in these quadrants, but I don't think I see any yet. And there's my Atlantis hosta, doing okay. My bridal falls hosta, starting to try to come back up, but this thing came up, got eaten back. I don't know. I just don't know. I give up, you guys. In this container, these are the Surefire Rose Begonias by Proven Winners. Beautiful. Adds just that pop of pink, and I love it. Right here, I wish you could smell this as well. Not so much in bloom as it was last week, but this is a little magnolia tree. It smells delightful. Still has buds on it. I'll overlay video of when this was really blooming out all at the same time. But today we just have this one, and the scent just this one is putting off is delightful. I put some more of that oxalis in here. I don't see any yet popping up here. These daylilies are starting to bloom out. This is a daylily bed. Little daylily bed. Probably can see better. There's that stump, and that's where, about right there is where I want to plant Steady As She Goes gardenia. Oh, that'll just be delightful. The pool is not open yet. We are not going to go in there for this tour, even though I have planted some containers. We have a pipe that burst during the Arctic freeze that we had. So the pool's not open yet, but once that gets open, we'll go in there and check out my containers. I do have them going. But here's the other strawberry planter. Same thing, that Torrenia. Gosh, it's just gorgeous. With the Creepin' Jenny. And then there's a baby Ellie. And there's a weed. Need to come out and do a little bit of weeding. I actually don't have a lot of weeding to do, which is fantastic. But my Canadian blue hosta's just barely hanging in. This Pilgrim hosta doing all right. But, you know, it just looks pitiful, and they should just be glorious, and they're not. This hosta, just, I don't know. Neem oil and prayer, I guess. I have no idea. But let's go ahead. We're going to address this right here. Let me walk back as if we were going to go out to the little rose garden I had envisioned in my mind. As you can see, you can tell where my husband stopped mowing because he got the mower stuck. Again, like I said, very deceiving. It's super wet back here, more wet than it's ever been. And it's just terrible. Seasons of change, you guys, seasons of change. But right here, you can see there's my Vitex tree. Hopefully, it's doing okay. I might actually move it up front too, off to the side. But you can see how tall this grass is. And then let me turn. This is where the roses were, if you can see. This flooded twice before I got the roses out, and then it flooded again when we got another 4 inches of rain. And I'll show you that honey Dijon that died, if it's still over in here. Yes, here it is. dead. Yeah, we have to clean all of this up as soon as he can get the mower back in there. But Claire Austin, Lady of the Lake, Litchfield Angel, they're happy. I'm leaving them right here. The floodwaters actually don't get up there. They get the rain they need. They're happy. So Litchfield Angel actually put on a bloom. But see this over here? Here, guys. Here we go. This is what this looks like. What a mess. You guys, I just went into complete shutdown over the roses. So much work went into this. Anyway, Pink Parfait, Sunbelt Soul Sister, they actually look good. And I might just come out here and re-clean this up and remulch it and see. But it just got, if you can tell, the floodwaters came through just like this and destroyed this. So I don't know if this is the best place for those. Definitely not a good place for a rose garden anymore. Let's flip back. How sad. Until we can get some kind of berm going on, this will just stay grass, and hopefully we can mow it soon. I don't know if you can tell, but this is just still very, very mushy right here. Here's Princess Elise, Vanessa Bell, doing all right. But you can see where water pushed things up from the cornfield across the way. Yeah, Belinda's Dream doing fantastic. I do need to got some grass trying to grow up in there. We will look over in the pool area. My totem pole grasses are starting to emerge, and my grasses in the pots are starting to come up. And I'll just scan back this way. Here's a view of the secret garden from this way. I was so optimistic about this season, and the flooding has just kind of deflated me a bit. But I'm gonna have to perk back up, because you know what? We just pick ourselves up and we just keep going. So you can see my living wreath. They are dismantled right there, and this is where they ended up going. I put all the dwarf mundo grass in here with this euphorbia that's supposed to spread out. That right there, I put it in here last year. Just little starts, so we'll see. But yeah, this is all the dwarf mundo grass out of the wreaths. It was not doing well, so I put it in here. And then here's the terrace. Oh, and let me go put my ferns back on the pedestal. I set them down so they could get some of the rain yesterday, but I forgot to put them back up. So let me go put them up, and then we'll start this again. Okay, take two with the ferns on their little pedestals over by the door. Here is the entrance to the terrace. I put my the dwarf Mexican petunias, the pink ones, in all of the low bowls. It did leave some of the pansies. That way, when it cools off, hopefully they'll just come back. And this low bowl right here too has dwarf Mexican petunias. So they're supposed to be tough stuff, we'll see. But right here, you guys, I started those mini love watermelon seeds, and I have them both are up. You're supposed to do 2 in a pot and then thin it out to your strongest one, but at this point I don't know which one's the strongest, so they're just both going in here right now. In here I added flowers to these 2 pots, and I'll have to just pop it up on the screen what they are. But I did do a tour back here, so most of the things you see, I already did an in-depth tour of what everything is. But I did add over here in this pot, I think these are called double rose impatiens. Either way, it'll be up on the screen if I got that wrong. But they did have some blooms on them. They do have buds. So I'm hoping this does okay. This gets very little sun back here on this column back here. So that's why it doesn't have the Mexican petunias like the other bowls. And it's why there's not a matching bowl there, because I want all the low bowls to have the same things going on, if that makes sense. Supertunia Vista Bubblegum in here with some pansies. And Creepin' Jenny living her best life. And I brought out my hibiscus from last year. It's yellow. I've had this in the house. I don't know if it's going to start putting on any growth, but I brought it out just to see. And hopefully, if it does put on some growth, I can overwinter this thing in the greenhouse this year. Nothing new going on in here except ant invasion. Everything's doing pretty good. Rosemary is just the best. You know, I really need to put rosemary out in my landscape now that I think about it. Here's everything. Oh, I switched out those pagoda pots with some real ceramic ones. I'll get up there and show you the new ones. But here's this, doing well. Happy Kimberly Queen ferns right there. I'm going to try to paint these bright orange. Get this off and just paint this the bright orange because the Mod Podge is not doing well on those. But the flowers are happy. I did bring out my little cast iron bunny planter. This has been indoors. It has elephant bush succulent in it. Here's the new pots. They're ceramic from QVC. And a lot better than those pitiful pagoda ones, DIY ones. I did get the napkins off there. I'm going to redo them, but I don't think I'm going to put them outside because I did like the design of those. I think I'm just going to leave them inside. Oh, helicopter overhead. I almost forgot about these guys. So I planted, this is either dreamsicle or creamsicle, I can't remember. Right here in this pot on the bench. That's Creepin' Jenny. She was over there in the last tour. I just moved it up here to the bench. I put some stone crop in this pot. That lemon coral sedum, I planted it for the last 2 or 3 seasons. It does so well in this pot. I even had it in the ground here last year, but it didn't reemerge. So I put some stone crop down here and then also in this pot. We'll see if that stone crop can come back. And that's all it said on the tag at the nursery, stone crop. So I said, I'll take it. But the same dreamsicle, orange sickle, I put in here with this Bermuda Beach because I just love the orange and pink together. It is so pretty. That's all that's new back here. Here's the terrace from this way. I love this evening sun. This bed right here is doing the best, and it's the bed you really can't see. But of course it is, right? But I do have to say that Olivia Rose Austin is a happy girl. She's got more buds on her, so I'm gonna get another show of blooms. Gorgeous. The snapdragons must really love this rain. It's kind of warm. It's been in the 80s. And back here, those hollyhocks are doing well. Those celebrity series I put back there. And again, like I said the last time I showed this bed, we're just gonna see what these canna lilies are gonna do. Oh, look. I knew she was gonna bloom for me, but I didn't know the bloom was already out. So here's Olivia Rose Austin putting on another bloom show. And that one's about to open. Beautiful. Oh, I am so happy to have her in my garden. I'm trying to go slow, guys, and not make too many jerky moves, but it's inevitable. We're gonna end on that. The bed doing the best. The one no one can really see. But my best friend roses, the yellow roses, they completely defoliated. I don't know what's happening. They're green, but they completely defoliated. I didn't do this to them. Oh, and then right here on the trellis, look. I planted a mandevilla, and I'll have to put up its little card for you. But look how gorgeous. So yeah, trying this on the trellis because for 3 years I've been trying to grow this honeysuckle. I think it's called Sensation, Proven Winners, and look at it, so pitiful. Look at this nest of web connected to it. It's just pitiful. It does stay evergreen, what foliage it has over the winter, but nothing, nada. Just a look into the pool area if you're curious. I said we weren't gonna go in here, but look, let's get a better view of this verbena. And I'll have to put their cards up. That is so pretty. So, so pretty. So both containers have one of each. Very pretty. Oh shoot, I done ventured in here. Let's just go see the Super Tunia Vista bubblegum pots here in front of the gazebo. Yeah, there are those. that way. And I do like to see too the progression, so we'll see how they do. Hi, Miss Ellie. Here's the totem pole grasses from this side. Looking great. Okay, had to take a pause. Something got in my shoe. It was poking my foot. Par for the course, you guys. Par for the course. Still trying to decide if I'm going to take this out. I think while I think about it, I'll go ahead and trim it up. And then maybe I can make a better decision about it. Here's the bed doing the best. Look at the skull cap. Gorgeous. I love it. I'm in love with this. I think I'm going to plant this more in my sunnier areas. And yes, still running off the ants here. They expanded their mansion, you guys. And look at this yarrow. Just beautiful. Doing so well. And then here is ballet slippers hibiscus on this side. And this one is really growing up. Well, I'm just flipping the camera around right where I ended. I hope you're having the best day, and I hope you enjoyed this little update of my garden in mid-May. Thank you so much for watching and adding color to my world.